Hey, you're listening to Coach Shelton Harris and Tonya Evinger.
Hey.
Bam!
Hey, perfect.
Coach Shelton Harrison, there'll never be no comparison. You're live on the show. Sit back and have a listen.
All right. LDBC. This is your boy Coach Shelton Harrison. You're live on the Coach Shelton Harrison Combat Sports Show live. Okay, guys, welcome to my keys to victory for Cris Cyborg versus Tonya Evinger. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoy what I'm putting together. Okay, definitely this is going to be a pretty good fight. And Cyborg is a very overwhelmingly favorite in this fight. But guys, sit back, relax. Get you something to drink, get a snack, because the coach is going to tell you his keys to victory. We're going to start off with Tonya, triple threat, Evinger. Enjoy.
Who am I? I'm not a model. I'm not a sex object. I don't care about fame. I am a fighter. I fight for legacy. And I fight to whoop somebody's ass.
Triple threat Evinger. This is the woman that everybody is pretty much writing off. And this woman has managed to do a lot, become a Hall of Famer, and a pioneer in the sport of women's MMA. She's been written off before, and she always finds a way to come out on top. Okay, my first key to victory for Tonya Evinger. Tonya Evinger has the length advantage, and Tonya definitely needs to use that to her advantage. Okay, and this is what I mean. Okay, Tonya could definitely stick a jab in Cyborg's face. Okay, we saw that when she fought Gina Carano, that Gina Carano actually gave Cyborg problems early on in the fight with a decent jab. Cyborg has been known to kind of just walk. She's got she's got this style where it almost, people want to call it a mauling style, but Cyborg does use a lot of head movement. So she's going to come in, she's going to use head movement. What Tonya Evinger needs to do is to employ that jab, and she got to put that out in Cyborg's face. Also too, Tonya Evinger has longer legs. She's going to have to stick those low leg kicks out there to disrupt Cyborg from just coming straight in. She's going to have to do it, because if not, it's going to be a short night. She's going to have to really intelligently dissect Cyborg and break Cyborg down. It's going to be a tough task, but Evinger has the skill set to actually do what I'm suggesting. She's got to stick the jab in Cyborg's face, and she's definitely got to use those leg kicks. Okay, don't try to go for the body, because if she goes for the body, like a body kick, Cyborg is going to catch that, and she's going to take her down, because you're fighting against an opponent who's lightning fast. Tonya Evinger is going to have to be very, very smart in this fight. Very smart. Let's go to key number 2. Okay, key number 2. Tonya Evinger, in my opinion, she actually needs to invite Cris Cyborg in for a clinch. She needs to. Okay? Cris Cyborg is not, when you clinch, Cyborg always looks to do a lot of damage. Okay? She's not going to look for the takedown initially. Not initially. Tonya Evinger needs to invite the clinch, take the fight to the ground. Okay? And then, and only then on the ground, is Tonya Evinger's best bet in defeating Cris Cyborg. Cris Cyborg has one weakness, and that's going to take us to step number 3. Okay, number 3. When the fight goes to the ground, Tonya Evinger needs to look for the submission. Okay, she's going to need to. She's not going to be able to go blow to blow. She's not going to be able to do a lot of things because she don't have the agility or the speed to deal with Cyborg. Okay, she's going to have to look for the submission. There's one hole in Cyborg's game. Cyborg is very, very susceptible to a submission, extremely susceptible. And if Tonya Evinger can actually time Cyborg correctly, okay, the most susceptible submission that Cyborg is open to is an armbar submission, okay? Cyborg is very open to armbar attacks, and Tonya's got to be able to see, and Tonya is a very good submission specialist, okay? And I'm sure that Dave actually saw the tapes, Dave video, and they probably made this observation as well, that when Cyborg is doing ground and pound, she's a candidate to get armbar submitted. And if Tonya Evinger can lock in one of her armbar submissions, it might be lights out and it might be tap out for Cris Cyborg. Let's go to step 4. Okay, number 4 is important. Tonya Evinger needs to keep her composure when Cyborg applies pressure. Cris Cyborg, she'll go into these fights, and a lot of these opponents, they're afraid. After they get hit the first time, they just completely stop. They shell up, and they don't really know how to really get out of the situation that they're in. Well, Tonya Evinger is a very calm fighter. Okay, she's very calm, and I noticed that about her in the octagon. She gets hit, she don't really overreact. Tonya Evinger remains cool. She's going to need that in this fight because Cris Cyborg is going to come fast, and she's going to come furious, and she's going to come often. She's got to keep her composure because, see, Tonya isn't going to win a standing battle with Cris Cyborg. She's going to have to look for openings for takedowns and submissions. That's her bet in this fight. She can roll with Cyborg on the ground. Heck, I mean, Tonya Evinger can roll with anybody in women's MMA, and that's just the way that is. Let's go to step 5. Okay, number 5. Time Cyborg's elbows and knees when they're in the clinch. And what I mean by this is that Cyborg is going to immediately take Tonya Evinger and try to get her against the cage, and she's going to try to deliver a barrage of elbows and knees when they're in the clinch. Tonya Evinger has to be patient, and she can't panic. When Cyborg throws an elbow, Tonya Evinger needs to get up under that elbow, and she needs to take Cyborg to the ground. She needs to take her down, okay? That's what needs to happen. Okay, if Cris Cyborg throws a knee, immediately when Cyborg throws that knee, there's going to be an opening for a takedown. She's going to have to take it, okay? See, she's going to have to get Cyborg off of her feet to keep Cyborg from throwing so many punches, okay? She can actually get that part of the game, but she's going to have to do it because, see, Cyborg throws these punches, and she throws them in succession, and she does it over and over and over. Okay, Tonya Evinger is going to have to listen. I mean, not listen, but she's going to have to be patient and wait for Cyborg. And in between elbows and knees, bam, she's going to have to get that takedown. Okay, so these are my keys to victory for Tonya Evinger. She's got a chance in this fight, but she's going to have to get this fight to the ground, and Tonya Evinger needs to be thinking submission. If she's thinking that she's going to stand with Cris Cyborg, and it's going to be a short night, okay? But Tonya Evinger does have the ground game and the skill set to pull up an upset. But the thing is, how is she going to react? Let's go to Cris Cyborg. Cris Cyborg, the most dangerous woman on the planet. This woman has been through a horrific 8 months, and yet this woman still manages to persevere. The beatings that this woman gives in the octagon are brutal. The wall of destruction is real, and so is Cris Cyborg. Alright, y'all. Here are my keys to victory for Cris Cyborg. Okay, Cris Cyborg needs to keep this fight standing at all costs. The reason for this is that, you know, people think that they have Tonya Evinger beat, like literally. And I've seen Tonya Evinger just walk away with a submission victory. Like Tonya Evinger, when she's on the ground, she's very elusive. Okay, and Tonya Evinger has, you know, a sense sometimes to play possum. And she'll let you think that you're beating her, while all along what she's doing is she's setting you up for a submission. I think if Cyborg is really going to win, and win like in the fashion she always does, she probably need to keep this fight standing, because Tonya Evinger is no average submission specialist. That's what she specializes in. She's that good. Okay, I would say keep this fight standing. Okay, keep it standing. All right, let's go to key number 2. Okay, step 2. Cyborg needs to attack Tonya's body with hooks to the body and push kicks. I've noticed though in a few of Tonya's fights, she's very susceptible to the body, and a lot of fighters that fight her, they don't want to seem to exploit this, but I've noticed this in fights. She can be hurt to the body, and I think Cyborg shouldn't try to be a headhunter right away. I think she definitely needs to, you know, keep this fight standing, but push kick this girl to the body. Okay, do that, because she's not fast. She's not fast enough to actually counteract a lot of this. She's not the best counterpuncher in the world, but if she can get this fight to the ground, I'm telling you, it's going to be a problem. Okay, she's got to attack that body of Tonya Evinger and slow Tonya down even slower than what she already is. Okay, see, Tonya Evinger, guys, you got to understand, she's not the fastest. Okay, she's not the best counterpuncher. She's not the best. She don't specialize in any one thing during stand-up. Okay, but when Tonya Evinger, if she can get you to the ground, I'm telling you, you're gonna pay. Okay, if she can get you to the ground, you're gonna pay. But Cyborg really needs to rip that body of Tonya, and I'm talking about rip it to the point where Tonya Evinger don't want to try anything. Because see, if that body is weak, it's going to be hard for Tonya Evinger to try to get Cyborg to the ground. And if your body and your core, all that stuff, if that stuff is just, if it's done, if it's ripped, it's nothing Tonya's going to be able to do. She's going to have a hard time submitting Cris Cyborg. Let's go to step 3. Okay, step 3. Cyborg needs to attack Tonya Evinger at angles. If she does this successfully, the counters will present themselves. Okay, Tonya Evinger is not the fastest fighter on the feet. Okay, Cyborg can really exploit this, and Tonya Evinger will have a hard time dealing with Cyborg coming from angles. Okay, that's one thing that Cyborg has that a lot of fighters they don't have. She can attack you at odd angles. And see, Tonya Evinger to me is a straightforward, you know, she's a back and forth type of fighter. Okay, she's not gonna avoid you. She's not gonna dodge all your punches. She's not gonna do that. Tonya Evinger, in a majority of her fights, she's looking for the takedown. So if Cyborg can attack Tonya from these angles, then Tonya Evinger is gonna have a hard time dealing with that. And especially if Cyborg can avoid the takedown. Because if Tonya Evinger cannot get Cyborg to the ground, Cyborg is just going to do what she always does. She's going to throw a barrage of punches. Tonya Evinger will not be able to take Cyborg down, and Cyborg will just end up winning this fight, you know? And it may not even go to distance if this fight stays up and if Cyborg can attack at angles. All right, let's go to step 4. Okay, number 4, force Tonya's back to the cage. This is important because, see, if Tonya Evinger has her back against the cage, her taking Cyborg down is going to be a no-no. It's not going to happen, okay? And Cris Cyborg will be able to tee off and do what she does, and she can get the finish. She's got to force Tonya back to the back. Now, how is she going to do that? Okay, Cyborg has got to be prepared, okay? She's got to maintain the range a bit. She's got to get in and out. She's got to pop Tonya Evinger a few times. Okay, hit her with some power. Tonya Evinger's going to back up. Cyborg then has to cut off the octagon. Against Tonya Evinger, it's not going to be very difficult. She'll be able to cut the octagon off. Okay, when she gets the octagon cut off, Tonya Evinger, it's not going to have anywhere to go. The octagon, she's going to run out of octagon. Her back will be against the cage. And once her back is against the cage, it's lights out. Okay, the fight's over. Okay? Because Cyborg will be able to take all those shots and just throw a barrage of punches, kicks, and knees. And Evinger will be completely defenseless against that cage. And that's just the way that is. Alright, let's go to step 5. Okay, number 5. Cris Cyborg is going to have to be patient with this particular fighter. She can't rush in. She cannot, because Tonya Evinger will find a way to submit you when you rush in, okay? And the thing about Tonya Evinger, she might be slow. Her lateral movement may even suck. Her jabs may not be there. Her stand-up may not be there. But this woman can submit you from anywhere. I mean, she can put you in a guillotine at the drop of a dime. And Tonya Evinger has great transition speed from submission hold to submission hold. Cyborg got to be patient. She's got to pick this thing. She's got to pick her spots. But if she rushes in, like she did with like Gina Carano, or she do that move, Tonya Evinger might end up putting her in a damn nasty submission, and it might not be a pretty thing, okay? Because people are saying, well, Tonya, you know, she's gonna get beat down. You got to understand, this woman has been in battles, okay? Evinger has been in all kind of battles. She's been in wars in the octagon, okay? And she's faced opponents who have literally, I'm talking about, beat her ass, and she end up submitting them. Don't sleep on Tonya Evinger. If Cyborg comes in there defensively irresponsible, and what I mean is that she coming in head first. You know, Tonya Evinger will see that, boom, grab her, put in a Muay Thai clinch, and then choke her ass out in the guillotine, okay? Don't come in. Don't come in like that. Cyborg got to come in. She's got to feint her way in, pop Tonya Evinger, hit her with some power, back up. Tonya Evinger going to feel the power. She's going to back up. Okay, use the push kicks. Use those quick push kicks, because Tonya Evinger not going to be fast enough to catch those. Use those push kicks. Attack that body. Tonya Evinger going to drop those hands. She's not going to want to deal with those body attacks. And then Cyborg will hit that face, and then Tonya Evinger will back up. Okay? You guys tell me what you think. This is your boy, Coach Shelton Harrison. I'm done. What are you guys waiting on? Subscribe to the best women's MMA platform on YouTube.